What's up? So, recently I was watching the movie The Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, which is about an autistic kid who lives in New York during when the September 11 attacks happened. And while I was thinking it really got me curious to thinking of how an autistic person navigates the world and how it's different compared to people who are not. And as someone who was diagnosed with Asperger's myself and still would class myself as autistic, it got me thinking of how autistic people are actually hardwired and supposed to connect, and how it's different to people who do not have autism. And I've been thinking about this a lot, and I kind of think that the main difference between the way autistic people connect and people who do not have autistic connect is that people with autism are more kind of hardwired to connect with things and objects than with people. And when they do talk to people, usually the first thing that comes to mind is that they will talk about a thing, an object, something that they like, or their favourite movie, their favourite video game, their favourite book, or their favourite place, and they and that always starts first compared to, let's say, things like people and social interaction and friends and things like that. And that's the way autistic kids are hardwired to think, and it's through no fault of their own. It's just the way their brains work, and it's only through life experience and getting older when autistic people start to grow out of that and start to try to be more and connect the way non-autistic people do. And I find that interesting because when I was a kid, and I still do, I have these obsessions where I would talk about elevators because I was obsessed with elevators when I was a kid, or trains because I loved riding on trains, and later on going to theme parks because I developed a theme park obsession later on when I was 9 years old. And then there were planes, and then there were things like that, like machines and man-made things, things made by people but not people themselves. When I really started talking about people and what interests non-autistic people, things about people, humans, things like that, that came a little bit later. I think that came sort of in my teenage years. And it's interesting because people with autism, they do want to talk to people. They want to connect, but it's just the way of how they do that. Non-autistic people don't always understand it because objects and fixations and interests always come first before people. And this is kind of just the first shot in the dark of what autistics think about when they think about their icebreakers, about what they want to, base the discussion around. And you hear a lot of people saying that people with autism, Asperger's, they go on and on and on about things that interest them, and their conversations are very one-sided. Usually they're the ones that's speaking about a certain thing, and the other person just listens and don't really respond. They just listen to a person talking about the same thing over and over again. And I was guilty of this when I was a child as well, and I still kind of fall into this, but this is just the predisposed, hardwired nature of the way autistic people think and talk about things. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's just kind of just the challenge of being autistic. And it can be overcome, it can be fixed, but at the same time, why would you? That's just the way they are. It's just the way they're interested in things in the world. Overall, just something I wanted to speak about. Maybe someone who's listening to this can relate to it, and I am eager to hear comments about this because it's a very interesting thing to talk about. But anyway, and also, yeah, I have watched The Incredibly Loud and Extremely Close, and I will make a review about it soon because the movie did interest me. But anyway, thanks for watching, and always take care. Thank you.